Hello everyone, this is Jason from Spotwalla. There are many different options and settings when creating a trip. Most of those have suitable defaults to protect your privacy. We'll go over all those in other videos, but in this one we're going to concentrate on just creating a basic trip. So let's get started. If you're not already logged into Spotwalla, go ahead and make that happen. You should see your dashboard. Find the Trips and Retrospectives panel and click the Trip Manager button. The Trip Manager will list all your current trips, if you have any, and allow you to create new trips. If you were going to update one of your existing trips, you'd find it in the list, click the name, and select Update from the menu. In this particular case, we're going to create a new trip, so we'll click the Create Trip button. Now on the Trip Update page, there are multiple groups of options. You'll find these in the tabs at the top. So there's the Basics tab, the Security tab with security types of options for the trip, and the Options tab, which has to do with how the trip is displayed and the profile and the number of days and the amount of history and other things that we'll get to at some point. And then the track overlays, so you can create tracks and overlay them onto your trips. But for now, for this particular video, we're just going to use the Basics tab. So the basics of creating a trip are you need a name. The description is optional, but can be useful to your viewers and if this trip is displayed publicly. The other thing that we need start and end dates. Trips are intended to show locations from one date to another. Now you can choose any date range that you want. If there are locations within that date range, they will be displayed. You can also choose different times on that start or end date to display. So using the widgets, you can check or choose the appropriate start date. You can adjust the time if you need to using the time widget. We're going to just set the defaults and let them go. The start date, I chose 31 or March 31st because I know we have locations for the device I'm going to choose. But you can also set the time zone for your trip. If you're out on another continent and you want that trip to display times in that local time zone, you can update that time zone setting for the trip, for this one trip. Ultimately, it will default to whatever is in your user profile. The next thing you need is one or more devices to display. And you can display location data from any of your devices on this trip. In this particular case, I'm only going to select Debbie's iPhone. If you do choose to select multiple devices to display in this trip, you can either combine them into a multiple or into a single track, or you can show each device separately. If you choose to show each device separately, then you may want to choose a different color for the other devices, just so that you can distinguish one from another on that trip. But again, in this particular case, I'm just going to choose one, and we'll set this to the default. And ultimately, this is all that's needed to create a basic trip. When you're done choosing all your options on this Basics tab, go ahead and click the Create button. That'll pop you back over into the Trip Manager, where you can now see the trip that we just created. To view it, click the trip name and select View from the menu. And there you go. That's where Debbie's been the past few days anyway. To get back to the trip viewer, click the Trips button in the viewer, and that'll bring you back to the Trip Manager. If you wanted to share this trip with others, again, click the name of the trip, select Links from the menu, and this is the link that you would want to share with your family and friends. An easy way to copy that link to your system clipboard is to click this copy button that's just to the left of that value. And now you can go into your email program or Facebook or a text and send that link to whomever you choose, however you choose to do it. And that's it. That's a basic trip. If you have any questions about this or need help doing practically anything in Spotwalla, give us an email at support@spotwalla.com. We'll help however we're able. Y'all have fun out there and be safe.